I read Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. Here are 20 key lessons from this excellent book. Number 1, luck and risk. Success in life and investing involves both luck and risk. While hard work is necessary, luck plays a significant role in outcomes, which we often overlook when we try to replicate other people's success. Housel uses Bill Gates as an example. In 1968, Gates went to one of the only high schools in the world with access to a computer. This was a stroke of luck for him. Thousands of equally smart kids worldwide didn't have the same opportunity. On the other hand, his friend Kent Evans, who was equally talented, died in a mountaineering accident at a young age. That tragic event is an example of risk in life. Number 2, know when it's enough. Understanding when you have enough is essential. Many people lose everything by pushing for more and driven by their greed. Satisfaction with what you have and knowing your limits are crucial for long-term happiness. Housel tells the story of Rajat Gupta, former head of McKinsey & Company, who had everything, power, fame, wealth, but he wanted more. His greed and desire for more eventually landed him in jail and ruined his legacy. The lesson here, knowing when you have enough, is critical. Number 3, the power of compounding. Wealth grows exponentially if left to compound. Small gains today can lead to massive results in the future if you're patient and consistent. This book highlights Warren Buffett, who started investing when he was 10. Most of Buffett's wealth was accumulated after his 65th birthday, showing the extraordinary power of compounding over time. Housel emphasizes that Buffett's wealth is due to decades of patient investing, not just picking goods. Number 4, tail events. The most significant outcomes, whether they are positive or negative, often come from a small number of events. This means that a few extraordinary investments can drive most of your returns. Housel discusses how the success of companies like Amazon or Apple is rare, but it has an outsized effect when it happens. Amazon faced many struggles early on, but eventually became a company with over $2 trillion in market capitalization. These tail events or rare occurrences drive most of the returns in business and investing. Number 5, time is the most important factor. Wealth building is less about how much you can earn and more about how long you can let your investments grow. The earlier you start, the better off you will be. Housel explains that the earlier you start investing, the more you can benefit from compounding. For example, he contrasts someone who starts investing at 20, stops at 30, and lets their investments compound versus someone who starts at 30 and invests for decades. The earlier investor often comes out ahead despite investing for fewer years. Number 6, behavior is more important than knowledge. Financial success is more about how you behave than what you know. Self-control, humility, and emotional resilience often matter more than your intelligence. Housel references a story of Richard Foscone, a highly educated Merrill Lynch executive who declared bankruptcy despite his super financial knowledge because of his poor decisions like over-leveraging himself. On the other hand, Housel tells the story of a janitor named Ronald Read who quietly accumulated millions by saving and investing prudently without any formal financial education. Number 7, wealth is what you don't see. True wealth is not about flashy possessions, but what you have saved and invested. It's invisible and often built in silence. Housel points out that people often show off their wealth with expensive cars, clothes, and homes, but real wealth is hidden in bank accounts and investment accounts. The story of Ronald Read, who lived a modest life but accumulated millions, underscores this point. He didn't flaunt his wealth. Number 8, the seduction of pessimism. People often give more weight to pessimistic news, views, and predictions, even though optimism historically wins over the long term. Staying positive and patient always pays off. Pessimism is more attractive because it feels safer, but Housel shows how optimism tends to win over time. He cites the dot-com crash and the 2008 financial crisis, where pessimists predicted disasters and many of them stood on the sidelines. However, when the market eventually recovered, those who remained optimistic and patient benefited the most. Number 9, money's greatest value is control over time. Freedom to control your time is one of the most valuable forms of wealth. Money can buy you choices and flexibility. Housel emphasizes that the ultimate reward of wealth is the freedom to control your time. He uses examples of people who are not necessarily the richest, but are the happiest, because they have the autonomy to do what they want to do with their time. Number 10, compounding applies to behavior too. Small positive habits and behaviors lead to significant improvement over time. Just like in investing, the little things add up in life. Small positive financial habits like regular savings, controlling your spending, and staying patient with investments can compound over time, just as money does. Housel shares his experience of saving 20% of his income, which led to financial security and peace of mind. Number 11, nobody is crazy. Everyone's approach to money is shaped by their personal experiences, making it essential to understand that people act based on what they have been through, not always what's objectively rational. Housel argues that people's financial decisions make sense to them based on their own life experiences. He gives the example of people who lived through the Great Depression, who tend to be more conservative and risk-averse, versus younger generation who have seen most economic growth and might be willing to take more risk. Number 12, the power of room for error. Financial planning should always include a margin of safety. Overextending yourself and stretching yourself too thin can lead to disaster when unexpected happens. So always plan with a room for error. Housel highlights the importance of safety margin in the book by referencing businesses that fail because they don't account for bad times. He contrasts this with Amazon, where Jeff Bezos always planned with contingencies, which ensured that the company could survive even the worst case scenarios. Number 13, the importance of long-term thinking. Most financial failures result from short-term thinking. Keeping a long-term perspective helps you ride out volatility and stay committed to your goals. Housel uses the 2008 financial crisis as an example to show how short-term thinking can derail your long-term success. Those who panicked and sold their investments in 2008 financial crisis locked in their losses, while those who maintained a long-term view eventually saw their portfolio not only recover, but grow. Number 14, rich versus wealthy. Being rich is about having a high income, but being wealthy is about building a sustainable long-term financial health. Wealth is built through saving and investing, not just earning more. Being rich is about having high income, but being wealthy means having assets that generate income over time. Housel tells the story of a sports star who earned millions but spent it all quickly and went bankrupt, versus someone like Warren Buffett, who amassed tremendous wealth over decades by consistently investing. Number 15, past performance is no guarantee of future results. People often rely on historical data to predict future success, but market conditions and individual circumstances change, and that makes future outcomes uncertain. Housel explains that relying solely on past market performance to predict the future is a mistake. He references the dot-com bubble, where people assumed that the technology stocks would keep going up based on the past trends, only to see the tech bubble burst like a balloon. Number 16, the power of independence. Financial independence is the ultimate goal. It's about having enough so that money does not control your life. Instead, it allows you to make choices based on what matters most to you. Housel discusses how financial independence allows you to make decisions that align with your values. He uses examples of people who achieve financial freedom not necessarily by being the richest, but by living below their means, which gives them control over their time and their choices. Number 17, you're not as in control as you think. Financial markets and economies are influenced by countless factors that are beyond your control. Accept this uncertainty and adapt your strategies accordingly. The 2008 financial crisis exemplifies how uncontrollable forces can upend even the best laid financial plans. Housel explains that even the best investors couldn't foresee the full impact of that crash. And that highlights the importance of humility in investing. Number 18, beware of lifestyle creep. As income grows, so does spending, but often without improving happiness. Living below your means and avoiding unnecessary lifestyle inflation is crucial to maintaining long-term financial security. Housel tells the story of people who earn more money and gradually increase their spending and ultimately living paycheck to paycheck despite having those high incomes. He contrasts this with people who maintain modest lifestyles even as their income rises, and that allows them to save more and invest. Number 19, save like a pessimist, invest like an optimist. It's essential to save for unexpected setbacks, which is clearly a pessimistic view, but invest with optimism and expect the market to grow over the long term. Housel argues that while you should be cautious and save for unforeseen events, you should also be optimistic about long-term market growth. He illustrates this with examples of people who remain invested during the market downturns and reap the rewards when the market eventually recovered. Number 20, happiness is the ultimate currency. The true purpose of money is to improve the quality of life, not just accumulate wealth. Financial success should be measured by how well it helps you live a fulfilling, happy life. The book concludes with the idea that you should use your money to live a fulfilling life, not just amass wealth for its own sake. Housel shares stories of people who are unhappy despite having vast fortune because they didn't align their money with their values and their goals. So each takeaway we discuss in this video reflects how human psychology profoundly influences financial decisions, success, and satisfaction with money. The examples Housel presents in the book ground lessons in real-life stories and experiences, and they make them relatable and actionable. Please go down to the comment section and let me know what other great books you want me to review in the future. If you found this video helpful, please like and share this. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you soon.